Hi guys, this is Mark Shawson, the Pattern Trader here. And while there is not much going on in the FX market at large, the British pound versus the New Zealand dollar today achieved a certain milestone. It crossed the 2-to-1 level for the first time in many years. So about 2 years ago, based on a prominent double bottom price pattern, in the pound versus New Zealand dollar at or near the 167 price level, I have been expounding the virtues of being on the long side of this pair for over 2 years now. So again, this pair started its life around 167, putting on the first bottom in October 2016. Then the second bottom came in January 2017. And then in about the April timeframe, there was another rounding bottom. Now, these bottoming price patterns shared a common neckline at the 180 price level. And once the 180 price level was finally crossed through the double bottom and the rounding bottom, I knew it was, just basically lights off for this pair. And again, we never really think about trading FX for the long term. Most of you are in and out of the market 5 or 10 times a day. This is kind of a Warren Buffett style approach where, the bigger patterns signify the bigger moves. Now, sometimes it does take a long time for these things to develop. For the last 8 months, admittedly, the British pound versus the New Zealand dollar has been trapped between the 190 and the 195 price level. And during these times, it does shake out the weak hands. It does make us question whether, what we're looking at. But then again, this is why I look at the underlying price patterns for determination of the ultimate and the primary trend. So again, I've been saying since early 2017 that the pound versus New Zealand dollar was destined to head higher and much higher. And now we've crossed the 2-to-1 level, British pound versus New Zealand dollar. And I think that it can only go much higher from here. Who knows? 205, 215, 230, 235. I don't know where this thing will stop, but I think it's got a lot of legs to go. I advised our members to get in around the 195, 196 area last week, and we're already 800 pips higher in our collective positions in the pound versus New Zealand dollar. So again, this approach is a little bit different. Where it's somewhat of a buy and hold based on the underlying validity of the price patterns that are in play. It gives us basically an insight as to where the long-term trends are going to develop. Once you have the primary drivers, which are these underlying patterns, then it makes things a lot easier in being able to stick with the plan and being able to, trade for the long term versus being in and out. So think about it. This pair is up over 3,000 pips. That's just on one contract. Now, you could have added many times during the last couple of intervening years and months even. And so think about a move that develops 3,000 pips over the course of time versus being in and out of the market 20 times a day trying to snatch 7 pips at a time and fighting your broker. So a little bit different way of thinking, a different way of trading, and this is what I try and bring to the table for our members. So I hope you got a ton of value out of this video, and I'll see you guys soon.